Yeah, so I think just a succinct way of saying it, I'm a cosmic seer, which means I used to see anything I used to gaze upon, but now it's principally my duty is to the unseen injustices that happen to souls, that happen to Gaia, and all the galactic agenda that's behind most of the suffering that souls go through, especially women, especially starseeds, especially sacred unions and families, because anything sacred has much unseen wounding. And then part of today is actually to make sure you guys can kick some ass, quite frankly. And I'm also an author. I am an Indigenous healer through my authoring so that you can heal yourself in real time. I'm a mama, and I'm very proud of that. And basically everything that I do is for soul activism, which is for Gaia. Well, that's actually one of the things that I was just getting all passionate with beautiful Karolina a minute ago about how fundamentally, if I get asked why I bomb people with so much love when I see for them, first of all, it's really cute. They think that just is something I can decide. It's just like when I see someone and they're in their sacred content and they haven't decided to shut it off, and they're not predators, they're not reptiles, they're not narcs, they're walking miracles to me, and they still have their soul content on. For me, that means yes. Let's do it. Let's engage in truth. Let all the galactic mediumship that has been silenced or corrupted or distorted bomb their hearts through me. Let's do this. And recently I had a big sisterhood wound come up that we have decided to talk about here so that we can all relate to where women are at, really. And because I really feel I'm just a medium enacting social spiritual consciousness at this moment. So wherever I place my gaze, if now we're going to be talking about Norrtälje, sisterhood, honoring the truth, and renouncing old structures and all competitiveness through spirituality. And I think one of the big things that came to me was, see, now interference just came. I went all dizzy and weird.
Okay, yeah.
All dizzy and weird. Are you okay?
I'm
Did
okay.
You go dizzy and weird? You're okay?
Yeah, I'm
It's
okay.
just me. I'm going to gong, guys. I'm going to gong.
Use the gong.
Yeah, so I was just about to say, wow, what the bare minimum is. Oh, wow. Yeah, let's breathe that one in. This wonderful teacher moment that happened yesterday with happy retrograde, by the way. Friggin' awesome. It's like, we're going to talk in a retrograde, but I think it's awesome.
It's awesome.
At least for me, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you experience it, but for me, it's like I can let loose finally.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel retrogrades, if I can ask that, sidetracking the whole Gaia?
I felt a bit annoyed at the technology today. So I think that's what happens to me. I get a lot of problems with technology, with retrogrades. But I think it's an outlet for me for annoyance and, it's a cleanse.
Eso. And also you're communicating something else. It might be the soul's annoyance towards technology that's usually silenced.
Yeah.
I say to people, technology cannot have the same consciousness material that your soul has, but it tries. And it's really trying now, dangerously. I don't want to name things because then we attract them and we're doing our best to have a cocoon. It's very important that what we name, we do bring forth. So we have to have a very good understanding of what we're naming and why. But I actually feel like all these technology mishaps, people speak about it like, oh my gosh, the retrograde. I'm like, actually, I feel like the retrograde is the soul on center stage. And everything that doesn't benefit it is removed.
Yes.
Because I actually feel freed, because I only serve the soul. So I can afford to, but in your case, your work includes technology.
Yes.
And people, this is my husband. So, I mean, his whole work involves technology. That's rough. Yeah. But I mean it from the biggest, it's like COVID when everybody was shut in and nature could roam around. It really feels like the soul can roam around now.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think I can speak this way when we're not in retrograde. So I sound like a paradox, really, but yeah. It can be freeing. I think it's the soul's turn now, guys. I think if we don't insist with things working for us like they did before retrograde, that's awesome. But yeah, just the baseline that I was trying to say before that they made me go dizzy and weird about, which means they try and make you forget, which is because technology, there are artifacts that are placed in the aura that have us respond to them and not stay on mission. So I'm going to have to continually center myself through this conversation and not in a patriarchal, like we're taught that we have to be neutral, but actually let chaos run through me that I choose, my creation energy that I choose. So we can be chaotic, but as long as it's ours. And I think it's the baseline of what this sisterhood wound showed me yesterday, and I think it's to do with being a seer, really, like, to introduce myself, was she didn't understand why I gave love and that was enough for me. And I explained that for me, the miracle is doing everything for Gaia.
Yeah.
And if she didn't understand that, then that shows me that even though I felt that I had a full-fledged friendship, we don't have a bare minimum together.
No.
Because then that also puts into question the relationship with Gaia, if it's even there, relationship with love, if that's even there. And there's a big wounding that opened yesterday, and I've had so many women, Karolina, writing to me at the moment with wounds in their physical structure and their friends.
Okay.
Like a lot, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And so I did want to pay attention to that. Feeling the body and friendships and so on.
My body is right now I feel very strong and healthy, actually. I've been going through a lot of cleansing, purging. I've worked a lot with my sacral chakra and let go of so much old pain over the past few months. And it's just like I feel a lot stronger now because I do more exercise. I feel eating healthier. It's like I'm reconnecting with a better version of myself, a better human version of myself, an upgrade. Friendships as a medium and a spiritual person, it's always like a kind of a challenge with friendships, because as we evolve and we go through things, so are the friendships, like old friendships from childhood can completely, change. It's like I have old friendships, but they've been through a lot, those friendships, the relationships, and some of them lasted, some of them didn't, some of them might pick up in the future, but we are just in such different places right now, and it's no harm done. I think it's just that we need to be separate for a while because we are in such different places. Usually through my work as a medium, I meet fantastic people, but outside my work, I feel like I disconnect more and more to people who are not spiritual. And it's not because I judge them, it's just that we don't have anything really in common anymore. It's just I don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it, actually, that vulnerability beyond, like, I think there was something beautiful you said about your friendships, the ones that have grown up with you. At some point, women start to birth a specific frequency within their heart space and their sacrum, which you'd be giving room for. And at the moment, I really feel that women need to pay attention to their spine. I don't mean the physical spine, I mean the energetical spine.
Okay.
Because the sacrum, the way you've just been naturally doing, I, for example, right now don't find myself in the best position in my physical mobility.
No, I know. Yeah.
And it's actually, and I'm told I have to start saying these things because people sometimes think that mediums were fantastic in giving our information from a very integrated place. And in my case, I somatically go through a suffering I'm going to then talk about. It's not that I'm talking about it just from looking at it from my sight. And I think it's amazing that you've just been inclined and have followed and not been interfered with in cleansing your sacrum. Because at the moment, the way we have been plugged into the old is in the sacrum and the cervical area. And those two spaces need a recolonization. And the visions that I had that were very disturbing on the day that I most felt that I couldn't move, and my husband took me to the emergency room and all this, and I had to face a lot of humility, because I couldn't get up off the bathroom. My husband, that's romance out the way. And it was really great because what Dane, my husband, what he said when he saw me was that he could see this like emerald energy around me, which when he sees is Gaia. And that's when I went, oh my word, it's got nothing to do with me again. Like I really profoundly thought I had just met my physical limitation, because I do
Yeah.
have issues there.
Yeah.
But no, not even my arthrosis is. I'm saying this so that women can hear me from this space, not because I enjoy talking about myself, like just sharing. I really want it to speak to places that we have normalized as our own physical proclivities. And my neck, for example, I have cervical hernias, and my arthrosis is in my lumbar and all this. And then I've got arthrosis on the back of my heart space, which is very important portal, claro, of literally the backstabbing space, the galactic entry also of truth.
Yeah.
So all the portals have been touched by a lack of water in my case. And that means that I have experienced somatically and emotionally how lack of mobility is also a lack of freedom. So what I saw, lack of soul freedom. What I saw was how all these starseed babies and myself in that moment was my baby and myself, but I could see all these essences were climbing up this axis. This is when I was in my most pain, my most crisis. We're climbing up this axis, and all of a sudden I am told, I hear this beautiful voice full of sorrow saying, "Oh, you never give up, darling." And what this voice was expressing was it would do you good here to learn to give up, because what it wasn't this axe. I was climbing with my kid like this this spiritual thing we have with elevation, right? If I just keep going, if I just keep elevating, if I just look higher, if I just reach X, Y, or Z, if I just earn this, if I do this, if I fix this, then I will reach X, Y, or Z. And my kid and I had resilience, which is a big spiritual starseed woman thing. We have perseverance with us and a sense of responsibility. And what that does is it makes us extremely vulnerable, becoming sort of obsessed with, being a soldier rather than staying in our sovereign warrior.
Okay.
And so I saw myself all of a sudden on a phallus instead of an axis. And this scepter was an energetical spine, which I see a lot of women going up and down. It's like a symbolism of our energetical spine, also Gaia center space, also the way that we transcend what we transcend to reach who we are is actually inside. It's this center space in Gaia, almost like when you look at Saturn and you see Saturn on a tilt with all these rings around it.
Yes.
I envision sort of a little center spine, like a stick in the middle of it. I envision it like going around a stick. It's like that. So it really like a child, like animated. It was like a beanstalk first. And then I saw it, unfortunately, for the phallus that it was. And that showed me then all of a sudden this huge perverter that embodies all the narc energies we know too well, and any predatorial energy that covets who we are and hurts us, needing starseeds, needing special women to go, if I just keep going, basically for as long as they can, so that they don't go where they're supposed to go in their right scepter. They stay going up this phallus.
Okay. Keep struggling.
It's a lot.
Yeah, keep chasing.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep earning, just do a bit more, just learn this, just let go of this, just detach from it. And the sisterhood wound right now, at least, is showing me, at most, I don't like the word at least, at most, was showing me, oh wow, this being is telling me unconditional love is still improbable to her. Loving Gaia is an option to her.
Yeah.
And sisterhood is too wounded for her. So those three things, I didn't solve it by earning, because usually for me friendships are so sacred. I go into this quick please and begging and earning it, because for me that's like, I don't know, it's like sitting with a queen and having them doubt your love. It's the most wounding thing for me, that part. So I'm like, no, and I didn't want her to love herself less, because she spoke of herself with less love due to the wounds that she's gone through. And then it was like, wait a minute, that's me going back up that phallus.
Yeah, okay.
That's me still talking from this patriarchal, disgusting, I have to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, right. So I just actually was even more myself, and more, and I know it sounds cheesy, but what I mean by that is actually being more disturbingly loving to her in her face. What I mean by that is she's not only speaking to me of her program, she's speaking to me of all the predator energy that had been accepted in her programs. And what I'd done in the past was judge myself and think I had to work harder and be more structured and do these things that these older women with all this wisdom were telling me to do. Because for me in my culture and for me in my systemic history, you have to respect the women that came before you.
Okay.
And it was this kind of, and then she was my teacher. She was my, And all of a sudden it was like, no, but this isn't about age. This isn't about, because she was bringing up her age all of a sudden. There'd never been age between us, but that's what happens when wounds come up. And there was this comparison. And all of a sudden her saying to me that when she was bombed with love by me and she wasn't ready for it, she felt less than, which is like, I can't describe to you how terrible that was for me to hear. I was in shock. And what that did was liberate me for a minute, because I just went, I have chased my whole life that women see what I see in their souls. But if I'm still encountering these programs, then I'm still going to have conversations on that shaft.
Yeah.
And there is, sorry, I'm going to get... She said she'd felt abused. And that it came up again. And we really went through it. And she realized it was her wound. She says, when I receive all that love, I can't. Because then I've got to sit here and question all my truths. And I so get that. You know, I used to be very afraid, right? Of saying, and also there's a big thing that happens with women who have been in extraordinarily wounding environments or conditional environments with narcissistic parents, especially.
Yeah.
They will need a long time to accept the love that they deserve, because they will then have to look at where it wasn't given when they were children.
Yeah.
So I was getting projected mum stuff, dad stuff. I mean, everything. And all of a sudden, love is naive, and if you enter that, you know, and it was just, and then so a lot happened there. What I mean to say by that was that it felt like a culmination for me of Gaia's wounds being expressed. I felt like she was enacting all the spaces of the feminine that still can't receive themselves in the body. She couldn't receive all this here. She could receive it in our... For example, if I was setting up that frequency in ritual, she'd spent enough time with me. We were there together. She just told those programs to go away. We were sustaining space. I mean, it was like really, you know, pinnacle. Let's go, warrior. We're there. Nothing can touch us. We've protected our space. We can do this. There she could.
Okay.
But as soon as she goes back to her environment, I have to leave. This thing that happens where people depend on you and then they can't do it themselves, all that. Then it was like all those other programs kept seeping in. And then you're basically competing with those programs, which again, it's shaft shit. So when they told me you need to fall, that's what happened to me. That's why I can't move my hips, my sacrum, I like metaphysically fell from this shaft that I'd held myself to, that I had thought I had a sense of belonging because of it. Which can be the sense of time here due to the patriarchy, the sense of sexual power due to the patriarchy, the sense of worth due to the patriarchy, the sense of belonging. I thought that if I kept going up this beanstalk, I was going to finally feel the peace, that someone or something could understand why I was this love, and that I would never give up, so that I could just be in this place where it was safe to be in. There wouldn't be the scrutiny of why love is love. Because I said this shocked my friend. I said, would you go up to a tribe that was in a community, go to a medicine woman and ask her why she loves Gaia so devotedly? Then why are you asking me why I love you and as an aspect of Gaia? And that was so shocking to her that did stop her in her tracks, because people forget that, you know, if you love Gaia, and you know that every starseed's ascension process, every mediumship's health, every client that comes to you that wants to free herself of a predator is justice for her. But we don't all work from the same place. That's why when you said, I want spiritual friends, I thought, well, that's brave still for me, because even if people are spiritual, what I've noticed is that if they don't have also a love for Gaia in some way or another, then it's still, in certain respects, almost intellectualized spirituality. What I was asking actually from you is that up until now, I thought my safe space was to be in a spiritual community.
Yes.
And then that changed 5 years ago, and I went, no. My safe space is to go into absolute isolation, just be with Gaia, because there was a lot of predatorial energy within spirituality. And then right now I've come out and I want to build a community. I really want that for my child, for her to believe that she can be connected to her soul in truth and not be something rare, to be with others in that love. And then she won't keep climbing up that proverbial shaft for the rest of her life, thinking she needs to earn, respectful loving. social elevated spaces where we can talk about love and it's not a unicorn, and we've got
Mm.
enough self-work that we can look at sisterhood and say, should we leave this wound to a side and just do the sacred, or
Yeah.
not keep identifying to structures of old and actually learn to birth, because there is a new feminine that wants to be born within us, that's completely alien, totally galactic, that wants to be given a new place to be born, actually from the sacrum.
Mm.
It goes in from the sacrum into the womb up to the heart. This is why now the way we're plugged in, all the untruths that we're plugged into, all the programs that we're plugged into, all that is bullshit. And we need to be able to look at that so that we can let the new feminine come in and almost distort everything that we think is true, to let it die, like for real.
Yeah.
And to just let this new truth that I have no idea how it's going to express itself, but it's definitely honest. And honesty has something to do with self-love. It's like this honest, like you can't help but be totally honest. And doesn't matter if you piss off the feminine that's wounded, doesn't matter if you wake up a reptile, doesn't matter if the narc comes out with its claws, because you're fine, you're in your feminine, right? And what I wanted to ask you is, do you still feel as safe in your spiritual environments, or do you feel like covertly predatorial energy starting to come in? My baseline is Gaia. I know if someone starts talking to me of Gaia, we're safe. It can be through crystals, it can be through children, it can be through very subtle activism with their plants. I really don't care. But there's something beyond just I love the spirit that then can be intellectualized, or we can follow gurus, or we go up shafts, all of us. Do you feel safe in Norrtälje, for example, with your spiritual community?
To be honest, I feel safe with some people that are in my life. I don't feel safe in general, especially not in where I live in Norrtälje and where I practice, because I've noticed a change. I mean, it's always been a bit of a challenge here. I'm from the area. I moved away early and didn't want to come back for many, many years, because I always felt a bit, you grow up in a small community. A lot of young people want to leave. That's normal. But it's always been like I can't properly identify with the energies here. And now when I'm back, I feel like there are just certain people I can connect to, certain areas. I avoid some areas.
That's interesting. Are there areas, for example, you'd like to name, or is that like really messed up? Like, is there any areas in Gaia, in Norrtälje, that you feel safe in?
I feel safe where I work, and near the water. I feel safe, and I'm avoiding parts of the town actually that I don't feel. I just don't feel welcome there, to be honest. I don't feel at home. I don't feel at home. It's not the people; it's just the energies. And yeah, I mean, I guess this happens everywhere. Like you enjoy.
That one. Sorry, that was intense. I don't feel at home. I don't feel welcome. Holy moly, that made my heart and spine. Because I think that's why a lot of you feel attacked, or like you want to go do something in town, and then all of a sudden you'll feel chucked out, or
It's like I'm not attracted to that part of town anyway. I'm not interested. I just feel like that's not me. I'm not gonna go there. It's not a big town, but some parts of it I'm just not interested in. It's like I forget to even exist. That parts of town. It's weird. And then I get surprised, like, oh wow, this street, yeah. But I do feel I connect more with people and in the area and some areas as well. Not so much. It's like you said before. It's some spiritual people are not very grounded. They're not very open. They're not very honest. They are.
For women at the moment. I feel like
Yes.
I'm going to call it out because I'm not from there. I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah, my little darling. There is a predatorial energy that is now, because it's not been able. Oh, I'm going to get emotional again, guys. Sorry. It's not been able to stop you guys from connecting to your sacred, you women, to your sacred. It's not stopped it. For example, I can say this: Karolina is spectacular, and I know she's real and she's true, but the visibility that she can have in a place like that is conditioned to the amount of predatorial energy that's present. That's how I feel, for example. And so when I go there, I feel like unleashed because I notice there is so much light that wants to be expressed there.
Mm.
But there was a recent energetical threat that if it wouldn't have been for Karolina, I wouldn't have realized when I was in this pain that was akin to an abuse. This is why the sisterhood wound came up with abuse. I'm like, okay, we need to this needs to be looked at. And it's because there has been a distortion of what is sacred with with false light, like, oh, I am this, I am that. Really, please be careful, guys, right now with gurus that are presenting themselves in that area. Especially, I'm going to say it, male. Now, I'm saying this with a father and a husband who literally hold me up when I can't, and I adore them, and they are the pinnacle of what Gaia needs. My dad spends 8 to 10 hours a day healing Gaia. Okay, so I know of masculine that can love women in Gaia. I've been raised actually with very doting, loving men, and actually more sisterhood wounds than men wounds. But what I will say is that space for me has a lot of masculine wounding energy towards the feminine, especially false light energy, false mastering, and then it's displayed in what I felt is women that really want help and then all of a sudden something stops them. Women that ask for something, they think they want it, but they don't know if they believe in it. Women that ought to be, I'm going to say like the archetype of sort of Lakshmi, just sat on a petal throne with petals falling on them of just, veneration, and instead they feel impoverished in some way. I especially sense it, the sacrum language, there is an impoverishment energy where there ought to be replenishment. So I think right now, the sacred, the root, the fear, abundance, fear, survival bit is really loud again in women that I'm looking at them thinking, yeah, babe, there's nothing to earn here. Please don't keep climbing up some weird phallus of bullshit. This is exclusively something of the space-time of Norrtälje that is showing us that whilst we're there, not seeing there's a massive block of light, the lower portal areas, the creation spaces from where we also see from and create our reality from, are feeling undernourished.
Okay.
That's how I'm experiencing. It took me friggin' ages. And then you had that to realize this, that you had that basically illumination to just sort of call me and go, I think this is the threat. And I'm like, holy moly. And I just felt, as an interpreter, I just felt like my whole body relaxed and I didn't need, any medicines or help for sort of 6 hours or so.
Wow.
But, yeah, you'd relieved an untruth from my sacrum that I was enacting, which is the women down there are full of potential, but have this narc conditioning.
Yes.
Or, and it's either
I understand.
Narc, or a program or a memory or a parent or a false guru. I haven't seen one of those in a long time that's so obvious, but whatever. So now I'm just kind of, the call to action was to mention the sisterhood wound, to mention, please, Christ, like, go towards your real axis. Just literally, just intend, go to your hearts and go, where is my original axis? How do I experience my spine of truth in the presence of anything and see what happens? Because a lot of us are still on, I need to earn, I need to do, I need to earn. I need to earn on so many levels, especially Norrtälje. So I wanted to talk about that with you, my little love, and a call to action about how we can just, in a very normal way, understand that there are geometrical spaces in towns that can be corrupted. And when they're not, when we pour a ton of light in them, in true sisterhood, without the wounding, in the right axis, not the predator one, and thirdly, understanding the space, like Norrtälje, we can just pour love in to relinquish this, I am indebted to, I need to earn, I need to prove. Actually, you are not only enough, you are plentiful. For example, I see you as so plenty. I mean, for example, in my tribe, I would take you and it would just be, if we all existed together in the same way. I mean, you're a starseed and a medium and completely devoid of anything that would harm the sacred. So for me, you would be just, sat on your little throne, full of abundance and plentiful. That's how I would see you.
Sounds good.
Shove you there with your gorgeous. She was having a snack earlier, guys. Her snack was a mandarin, and it was not my healthy snack. And I just was like, she's so cute. I just want to put her in a lotus flower. But that is basically where I'm at. So let me know what you felt when I said that, my darling. I'm just going to do another gong because that was a lot.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, it was a lot. Let's do it. Let's actually do the whole computer. Oh, man. You little darlings that I have to earn, we can dispel it right now. Just literally let it melt off you. We can dispel any plugs in the sacrum area that have us connect to a suffering aspect of the feminine. We can dispel any conditioning program that meets a narc reality. Sometimes we don't have to go and be romantically or organizationally or in terms of family involved with a narc. Sometimes it's just enough to have believed one of their programs.
Yeah, okay.
They unfortunately have had a big hold on the consciousness.
Yeah.
So just you believing you have to earn X, Y, or Z. Oh, I don't mean money. I mean you have to earn something. I feel like Norrtälje has something like... So I wanted to just give space to that, to just be purified together. I'm going to do a big loud one, guys, and then I'm going to ask Karolina to expand.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I'm picking up a vision now that you and I are sat in the forest close to Norrtälje, and we're going to do this cleansing circle with other women. And we're going to use gongs, we're going to use drums, we're going to use, incense. We're going to do so many things together, and we're going to clear the whole area.
Awesome.
Ladies, I know people who can help. We can all bring our tools. We can do this together.
Yeah, let's bring the big
We can sing. We can have a fire.
Yes.
We're going to do this. I can see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not monetary, women, because I know that that's always what it comes down to, unfortunately, when there's been a lot of scarcity in the field. This is just a moment for us to actually revindicate, because I feel like that's the one reason why I went to Norrtälje, was to meet Karolina and to be able to tap into these certain special women's scarcity programs to realize, oh shit, it's the block of light in the actual place.
Yeah.
And so that if we can just go in the woods and have this wonderful, empowered, matriarchal joy,
yes,
where we kind of laugh at all that bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, and nourish ourselves like you've been doing lately. You've been nourishing yourself with what you need.
Yeah.
We nourish ourselves with light and live without scarcity for that moment. That would be incredible.
I feel like all these women I talked about, all these women that I saw in my vision, they are all extraordinary. They're all trying to do these things like this spiritual work, but they're all challenged in it. They're all like held back from something. It's like self-doubt, all that stuff. Yes.
It's an abuse.
We need to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I see it like a shockwave.
Like witches, just like throwing rosemary at a symbolic.
Yeah. I think we should all bring our own tools, so it's like a personalized thing. Everyone can bring something to the fire.
We're all together, and we're all going to love, because essentially this is inside Gaia's space. And through us, so we're actually loving ourselves and loving our roots to her. And there's going to be a lot of galactic information with us, because the intra-terrain energy, the seeds underground with the seeds overhead, it's like we're going to be like scepters. We're going to be our own spines of what is possible by doing that. And especially you beautiful women in Norrtälje serving, you deserve to feel it without scarcity, especially in the use of anything that's sacred, which we all feel, unfortunately, because there's always a narc energy versus the sacred until it's not. And that polarization is shown in the extremes of an axis. And Gaia's always sort of getting very upset, going, I need to not experience my sense of center being accessed by angels on one side. This is a symbolic representation. And the narcs on the other. So as I think as long as we understand that narcs, whilst there's a psychological aspect to them, a lot of it is galactic and cosmic, as is this feminine. The feminine for me is otherworldly. So it's an even playing field. We are the creators and the mothers of our own will. So we should be using our scepters as our pens.
Yes.
That will do whatever we want. I love it. I saw 24. I don't know what that number means for people, but I saw 24.
Okay.
Yes, so we'll bear that in mind. I think this little podcast is for us to be like, hello, we're going to do some justice together. Let's do it. The biggest success, I think the most important, most very non-subtle success the narcs have had is making leaders and facilitators who are the true deal feel like they need to earn something and have the ones in the spotlight completely serving them. And that's what made me, for example, and a lot of Indigenous women distrust, a lot of what we don't need to distrust. And that's been huge, yeah.
Well,
you good?
Yeah. That's good. Feels good.
It does feel good, and I'm very grateful for this conversation.
Me too.
I don't know if you guys do this, but I'd actually love it if there was a possibility of women reaching out who felt a want to do this circle.
Yeah.
In the woods. Maybe they could write on Instagram to any of us.
Yeah, definitely. That would be amazing. Let's do this. Let's gather somehow, somewhere.
And if you guys have, my loves, any rose at your disposal to smell after this talk, it would be great. I could smell rose really clearly. And it was sort of an invitation for Mary Magdalene frequency and but a very sort of the softness of Mary Magdalene with a big fortification of a warrior spirit. So I felt like a Diana spirit. So I felt like if you just spend some time with some archetypes, maybe like a child draws some strong women, especially the facilitators, the ones of us that have a lot of responsibility also for others, even when we're going through it. Let's draw it out. Let's paint it out. Let's use our essences. Let's feel it sensorially. Go to the soil and draw it out. You completely reivindicating your place versus the proverbial narc spine. It literally is our spine or theirs. And if they access our spine, which means they access our center space that crosses all through our thresholds, our heart, our eye, our uterus, and on the back spaces, the back of the heart, the back of the head, the back of the sacrum, the dorsal and the frontal spaces, they need to be claimed by you. I think a good start would be a nice cleanse and using some rose on each of those areas. Big love to all of you that listened, and thank you. And thank you for bearing with me with my fast English.